Hey there everybody, this is Daniel. This video is sponsored by Helping for Cardboard and also KC Building Things. Today we're opening half a box of Unstable. It's part 1 of 2. Casey will be filming part 2, so make sure you are ready for that. So this set's pretty exciting. The lands are amazing. The drafting is crazy. So let's get started. If you haven't drafted this yet, well, here are all the commons. Box of free range goblins. Best draft card. You have to roll a 6-sided die. Create a number of 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to the result. Drafting red-blue dice rolling is actually a thing, surprisingly. So let's get through all this stuff. The uncommons are really boring. The rare split screen. Split screen enters the battlefield, shuffle your library and deal it into 4 libraries. If anything refers to your library, choose one of those libraries for it. Play with your library's top card revealed. When split screen leaves the battlefield, shuffle your libraries together. So it seems like a really interesting mechanic. I don't know how you could apply it to draft, but it definitely makes Unstable pretty exciting. And there you go. That's why everybody is opening these packs. These gorgeous lands. If it would focus at some point. All right, it's not going to focus, but it's one of those polar mountains. Really exciting, really exciting. They're actually pretty up there right now. The most expensive one being the plane, the island, sorry. Plane is the cheapest one, of course. So we're in pack 2. Blurry Beeble, 1 blue. Blurry, this creature can be blocked only if the defending player was wearing glasses as it was cast. Whenever Blurry Beeble deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. We were drafting this the other day, and let me get on there for you. And people were actually counting how many people had glasses before they even drafted this, which is really funny. And since most of us are playing Magic the Gathering, most of us actually have glasses, so this card's really not that good. Let's go through all the commons again. There's another common, Hazmat Suit, used. That was very fun to draft. 1 black, 3. Enchant creature gets +2/+1 and menace. Whenever a player's skin or fingernail touches the enchanted creature, that player loses 2 life. My opponent drafted this against me, and it turned out that he accidentally touched this card a lot more than he should have. Eventually just started using his deck to kind of fidget around and try to tap the creature and untap it. Let's see what we get for our rare. Our rare is Clocknapper. Double blue, 3, creature human spy. When Clocknapper enters the battlefield, choose a beginning phase, pre-combat phase, combat phase, post-combat phase, ending phase. Steal that phase from the target player during his or her turn. 5 mana 2/2, really not that strong, but the ability is really good. And see what we get for our land. Of course, planes. Like I said, planes are going for about $1.43 a piece. And here's some other cards and the tokens. The tokens are absolutely gorgeous. My favorite is definitely the Goblin token and the Stormcrow token. Let's go pack number 3 over here. Let's see. I'll go through all these commons, the uncommons, foil, and here's our rare Angelic Robot. 8 colorless. It's one of those host creatures. Flying. You may destroy target non-land permanent. 4/4. So you get one of the other parts of it. Let's see if I have one here. The Robo. You actually meld them together and they gain ability. So at the beginning of each end step, if an artifact enters the battlefield under your controller's turn, you may destroy target non-land permanent. It's actually pretty strong when you put them together. Some of them really aren't that good when they're not together. So it's one of those drafts things. If you draft this archetype, you definitely have to draft a lot of those. And our land is the Forest. Who knew we'd be opening packs up for lands, huh? Here you go. The Brainiac token, not my favorite token. Let's see. Hoping to pull a foil land here. Those foil lands are pretty expensive. The commons, rare. Ooh, looks like we got an island, folks. Infallible Blessing. As Infallible Blessing enters the battlefield, choose a number. Whenever a creature with exactly that chosen number of words in the name enters the battlefield, under your control, draw a card. 1 green, 1. Definitely interesting. Might actually see some play in EDH, because all these cards are EDH legal till January 15th. And I'm thinking, you know, they might actually let us keep some of these cards. There's my island. It's like $3 and some change. Ooh, a foil rare. Kindslaver, 5 colorless, legendary artifact. 5, tap. Sacrifice Kindslaver. A person outside the game controls target player during their player's next turn. Neither player may advise that player until the end of the turn. So you don't have to pick somebody who's actually playing Magic. You actually just pick somebody who's actually willing to help you out. So they don't even have to know how to play Magic, which definitely makes unstable drafting a lot more fun. Ooh, really nice rogue token. Good art, good art. Like I said, I really like drafting red-blue dice. I think it's very interesting. You get a lot of chances to reroll the dice. I've seen some people draft, just draft a bunch of crazy stuff. That's what Unstable is all about. Let's get through all these commons. If you want to read these commons, buy a box yourself. It's a great price for a box right now, and the lands definitely make it worth it. And our rare is Jack Knight. 1 white, 1 artifact creature cyborg knight. Interesting. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Jack Knight. If that artifact is a contraption, Jack Knight gains lifelink at the end of the turn. Doesn't seem like that good of a rare. Ooh, there's flames. It doesn't seem like that good of a rare. Really not that exciting. I wouldn't draft it. There's a spirit token. Also, the token's double-sided full art, which is... They should have done this for FNM. Not what they were giving out before, the Dinosaur and Pirate. This should have been our FNM token. Like if you agree. Let's give Wizard something to think about. On to another pack. Still hoping to get a foil Urza, foil Island, foil cryptic, very cryptic commands. Those are very interesting. It's like 6 of those. Skip through these commons, blah blah blah. And here's our rare. Oh man, it's a wall of text over here. Modular Monstrosity, 7, artifact creature construct. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you have 5 seconds to choose a keyword. If you haven't chosen for a card named Modular Monstrosity today, that's been printed on a creature card. If you do, Modular Monstrosity gains the ability, otherwise Modular Monstrosity loses all keyword abilities. Basically, if you drafted more than once today, you can't pick the same keyword. So that's kind of a weird thing to keep track of, but I guess it makes it more fun. I mean, if you're playing multi-rounds, you really can't take any other keywords, so it's very interesting. 7 mana, 33, doesn't seem that great. Forest for our land. And a foil gnome. Interesting. I'm really surprised with some of the token choices. Some of them were really good. I like the blue Thopters. I like the Stormcrow a lot. Other ones were kind of weird, but it's Wizards, they do what they want, right? Let's go through the commons. Boring. Squirrels are actually... I'm very happy they brought squirrels in for unstable. Maybe Squirrel Commander is possible. Our rare is Over My Dead Bodies, double black 4. Look at that art. It's great. Let's see. Enchantment. Creature cards in graveyards can attack and block as though they were on the battlefield. Can block or be blocked only by creatures cards in their graveyards are zombies in addition to their other types, and they have Undeath Touch. So Undeath Touch is if they would deal damage to a creature card, exile that creature card instead. Creature cards in your graveyard have haste. That's insane. That's very interesting. The exile clause definitely stops a lot of graveyard shenanigans in Commander. Not too sure about unstable. Island, pretty good on lands, and a construct token. Let's see. I play Modern. I don't really do too much Commander, so I know exactly where these lands are going. So it's really fun. A lot of people are drafting us for the lands, so heck, Wizard made a good choice putting these lands in here. Commons, uncommons, rare. Ooh, Urza, Academy Headmaster. Non-foil, but white, blue, black, red, green. +1, you actually have to go online to do the pluses, the minuses, and just the ultimates in general. It's actually very interesting. It's a mix of all the Planeswalker's abilities. So the other day I went online and I clicked the -6 and it was a Jace alt. It was pretty funny. So very interesting. Very hard to draft. I've seen a lot of people try to draft this and they just weren't able to pull it into their pool. So keep that over here. We got a swamp. Stuff over here. The contraptions are very interesting, and the gold dragon. Only one thing makes this dragons. They're pretty cool. They're really nice to keep too. The contraptions, I really enjoyed them in the draft. They definitely made they definitely had a good power level for sure, because you can only get them once every 3 turns instead of every turn, and you can stack them however you like. Ooh, open this one backwards. Got a young pyromancer token. So I like to say, yeah, they were really fun. Contraptions are really fun to draft. That's also an archetype you could draft in this. Definitely makes the game unique and longer games better for contraptions. Our rare is oddly uneven. Double white 3, sorcery, choose one. Destroy each creature with an odd number of words in its name. Destroy each creature with an even number of words in its name. It's very interesting. I can actually see this seeing Commander play. It's a very interesting card. The art is pretty funny. So, yeah, Swamp. I really hope that they actually allow these cards, Elemental Token for Young Pyromancer. I'm really hoping that they do allow these cards to stay in Commander for a while. Obviously, if you're more a competitive Commander player, you don't have to play the cards, but if, you should have at least one fun Commander deck. I did play a mono black Shieldred, the anti-fun deck. So let's see some commons. So, best uncommon right here. You collect these as many as you can. So our rare is Hydrodoodle, double X, double green. Hydrodoodle enters the battlefield for a 6-sided die. Hydrodoodle enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the total of those results. Reach and Trample. It's one of those die effects that that's really popular in Unstable. I prefer to go red-green draft or red-blue drafting, but I guess you could go teamer, red-blue-green. Got a forest for our land and a zombie token. Look at the back. It's awesome. Well, we're almost done with our half. Saying my name is Daniel, and Casey will be opening the other side. It's his box, so he gets to keep all these valuable lands, so I'm pretty jealous. So here's some commons. Nothing great, nothing to write home about. And here's a rare 3-headed goblin. Triple strike, double red, 3/3/3. That's all it is. It's okay. The power level in this Unstable seems to be really shifted towards the late game, which is really good. Which means games can't end before they start, unless you mulligan a 5. There's an island. Cool. Look at these. Let's actually look at these contraptions. Buzzy Buggy. Whenever you crank Buzzy Buggy, target creature gains +2/+0 and gains trampled end of turn. And Unsufferable Siphon. Whenever you crank Unsufferable Siphon, target player discards a card. These cards aren't really. These ones aren't the best, but I have seen some pretty good contraptions. There's one that gives it +3/+3 and flying, which is really broken late game when you have a 1/1 token. Let's see. This is really interesting to open. Sometimes these packs don't want to work with you. Here are some commons. Skip all these uncommons. Oh, accidentally skip a rare. Everything Majig. Just reading these is insane sometimes, especially when you're drafting this for the first time. There's a lot of wait time in trying to figure out what card, what does what. Everything Majig, 5 mana, artifact, rare. 2 tap it, draw a card, activates the ability only if you have no cards in hand. 8 tap it, you gain 10 life. 4 tap it, sacrifice everything Majig. You may put a silver bordered permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. This will see Commander play. It is a very powerful card, especially for those life gain Commander decks. Rare here, got some swamps. 2 more contraptions and the foil angel token. That's amazing. That art is phenomenal. They did a great job with art for this set, 100%. Look at these contraptions. Dispatch Dispensary. Whenever you crank Dispatch Dispensary, create a 2/2 black rogue creature token with menace. Similar to Vraska's +1. And Auto Key. Whenever you crank Auto Key until end of turn, target creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other creature types. It gains tap it, you gain 3 life. Life gain doesn't seem to be too prevalent in this. But it's definitely relevant for sure. If you draft any life gain, if you find any life gain in your packs, I would draft it. Like I said, a lot of these decks are gonna go long games, so you definitely need the life to outpace your opponent. There's a Shaggy Camel. Keep going through all these commons. I really like how they included regular animals in this, and then just added a bunch of silly effects. Commons are rare is Earl of Squirrel. It's actually a promo you get for drafting, so you can always ask for LGS about that if you draft Unstable. Double green 4. Squirrel Link. Damage dealt by this creature also causes you to create that many +1/+1 green squirrel creature tokens. Creature tokens you control are squirrels in addition to the other types. Other squirrels you control get +1/+1. It's a 4/4. It's definitely a pick 1, 100%. Because all your creatures are squirrels, so it's a lord for everything. Unfortunately, it's not legendary, so you can't make it a commander, which they really messed out on that opportunity. finally, here's a mountain. We only got a couple of those. Really enjoyed the art on those. And a Thopter. This is the blue Thopter I was talking about for tokens. Definitely really nice art. If it would let me focus. There you go. It's amazing art. Yeah, a lot of people that aren't competitive are still opening this product. It's a great product to open just for the tokens and lands, if anything. So if you're super competitive, this product's still great to open. Let's see some of these guys. Ooh, foil. Here's our rare X. One black, one blue, legendary creature, human spy. As long as X is in X owner's opponent's hand, X owner may cast X and activate X's ability. That opponent can cast X and play with his or her hand reveal. Blue black, tap it, put X in target opponent's hand. 3 blue X, you may play a card in the same hand as X without paying its mana cost. This card, you see it, you play it, you immediately put it into your opponent's hand. It actually becomes a very interesting game trying to get this back into your opponent's hand. They're trying to get into each other's hands, so you can just keep casting stuff. It gets pretty crazy, and it's why they made it a rare. If this was uncommon, it'd be crazy. Here's a swamp. Here's some quick stick lick trick. That's definitely a very interesting card. I'm not even gonna read what it does. The art speaks for itself. Stormcrow token. Get those if you can. The best card. Only 4 packs left. But remember, it's only half a box. So the other half Casey has, and hopefully he hits the foil island before I do. Let's go through all these. And there's a rare Hot Fix. 4 white, blue sorcery. You have 10 seconds to look at and rearrange the cards in your library. At the end of those 10 seconds, if you are touching one or more of those cards, shuffle your library. So you have 10 seconds to basically stack your deck. And if you don't, you have to reshuffle it. So at worst, it's a shuffling effect. At best, you can actually win the game if you know where you're stacking up. Mountain, foil contraption, and a foil fairy. The foil, I love the full art foils in this set. Hopefully Wizards is actually using this as a test set to see how full art foils really look in future sets. I can definitely see us having full art foils in the next couple standard sets. Down to 3 more packs. Get past the commons, uncommons, rare, another X. You know what this does. Man, it would have been really interesting to pull those last 3 packs in the draft. You'd be playing black-blue immediately. Flames. And some contraptions and a goat. Really funny art on this goat. If it would focus. There you go. Well, it won't focus, so. Yeah, there are very few designated archetypes in this draft. Like I said, dice, putting the creatures together, creating tokens. I'd say those are probably the stronger ones. I drafted Brainiac too, last 2 drafts ago, which is you can tap double red or double black and 2, and roll a dice and create that many Brainiacs, and tap 3 Brainiacs to roll 2 dice and next time you roll a die, which is a very powerful effect. Ended up making like 12 Brainiacs in 1 turn. Let's see, Stormcrow, a rare handy dandy clone machine. Actually drafted this for fun and was never able to play it. 3 mana, 2 tap, create a 2/2 colorless homunculus creature token. It must be represented by a unique hand, 2 fingers at all times, or it ceases to exist. So basically, if you do this by yourself, it's at least a 2/2. If you have friends, you can actually have your friends participate in the draft and just create a whole bunch of 2/2s. It's really funny. Forest and a clue token. Last pack, no foil lands. Hopefully our friend Casey, who gave me the luxury of being able to open half this box, will get that foil land that everybody's chasing after. Go through all this, get to our rare. There it is, the big idea. This is the card I was talking about. 4 double red, legendary creature Brainiac villain. 2 double red or double black, or any combination of. Tap, roll a 6-sided die, create a number of 1/1 red Brainiac creature tokens equal to the result. Tap 3 untapped Brainiacs you control. The next time you would roll a 6-sided die, instead of roll 2 6-sided die and use the total of those results. so this can get out of hand very fast. It's definitely one of those late game bombs. This would be pick one for me right off the bat. It's just too good to pass up. I love this card. And we get a nice island. Get some more contraptions and an elemental token. Same art. They could have done something different, but it's still good. Looks great. Well, this is the end of my half of the box. Everybody's drafting this set, opening packs for these lands. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. Very, very impressive. The artist, John Avon, did a great job on this. Well, this is Daniel from Helping for Cardboard on KC Building Things. Thanks for watching. Have fun. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next time.
Little Danes, and this is part 2. And the first part, Daniel did the first half of the box. I'm doing the second half, so let's get started.
And I'm actually back for part 2, so let's see what's going on. No foil island, so hopefully we get on this end.
Okay. So we got Crafty Octopus. This actually focuses. Crafty Octopus says this creature symbols contraption when this creature enters the battlefield.
One of those interesting mechanics. It could be a little bit better. There's some much better ones. Let's go ahead and go straight to the rare here.
Our rare is a land.
Water Market.
That says add 2 colorless to your mana pool. Spend this mana only cast spells with watermarks.
So the watermarks in this set, I think there's 4 or 5 of them. So basically an ancient tomb.
Forest is our land. Right there.
Some gorgeous art once again.
A contraption rare. It says whenever you crank guest list, target creature gets -X, -X until the end of turn, where X is the number of creatures cards in control's graveyard.
It's very interesting. I do like the contraptions, but once again, I like rolling dice. There's my Brainiac card from that last one of our last rares. Let's go on to the next pack.
And this is the one that Daniel hates. In our next pack.
Like I said, I really hope they do make more sets like this a lot sooner instead of 10, 15 years like the last one. Let's go straight to a rare Kindslaver again.
Know anything about this card?
Yeah, well, I reviewed it in our last video, so if you want to know what it does, you can go to our part 1, and I'll tell you exactly what that card does.
Our mountain.
Yeah, once again, mono red players love their mountains.
A record store. Is that in focus? Yes. It says whenever you crank record store, look at the top X cards in your library where X is the number of artifacts you control. Put one of these cards in your hand, the rest at the bottom of your library at a random order.
Gorgeous angel token right there.
Love this token.
Yeah, tokens are amazing. Especially, once again, this is all EDH legal till January 15th, except for the ban list that they actually have. So you might want to check that out on the mothership.
I didn't know they have ban lists for these.
Yes, they do, yeah. Some of those cards, well, it's unstable in all the other unsets too.
Okay.
So, go to our rare. Ooh.
Is Steamfogger Moth. Weren't you talking about this earlier?
No, we're talking about the black border one that you actually get 1 out of 128 packs.
Ah. Well, when this one enters when Stormfogger enters, when Stormfogger or the Moth enters the battlefield, it is symbols of contraption for each contraption you control.
Very nice.
Not bad.
The planes.
Or planes, sorry.
Don't really like the planes art for the most part. It seems a little plain.
Yeah, it is just, you know, just plain. Well,
let's see. Skip straight to our rare again.
Here's a new one. By the known means. It says for 1 planes, remove counter from a permanent you control, create a 1/1 colorless gnome. That's why there's those tokens.
Yeah, the gnome tokens.
Sacrifice it, an artifact. Choose any kind of counter in a printed card. Your first 2, then put 1 of those counters on target permanent. Not bad.
Great with doubling season, and it's actually I can actually see that card being played in standard, which is very interesting too, because they definitely didn't make these cards overpowered, but they also made them very playable.
And here's a mythic rare.
Ooh, mythic.
Whenever you crank Rapid Prototyper, create an XX colors construct. artifact creature token, where X is the number of artifacts you control.
Wow.
That could be powerful in EDH.
That also includes contraptions too, so active contraptions.
That'd be powerful in the Brea deck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Brea is definitely a commander deck that runs its artifacts.
Broken.
It's pretty broken deck, yeah. Search for a rare again. Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
The Infinity Elemental. 4 cost, triple red, creature elemental. This creature has infinite power, but not infinite toughness. So you can still block it and you can kill it, but if you give that thing trample, it's basically game over. If you sacrifice it, you can basically kill anybody. So it's definitely very, very interesting EDH card for sure.
That will go on my Avacyn deck.
Ooh, yeah, his red-white Avacyn deck is, yeah, his red-white Avacyn deck is pretty good.
Yeah.
Stormcrow token.
And the token that Daniel loves.
This will be I'm taking this.
Go ahead.
I love my Stormcrow. Best card in Magic's what I heard.
I heard that just today, actually.
Let's see.
And a rare.
I'll count down to 1.
Actually, can you flip that so you can make sure that's in focus?
Move it over a little bit.
This one? There you go.
There you
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. It says, sorcery, the countdown is out 1. Players play a Magic sub-game starting at 1 life and using their libraries as their decks for the rest of the main game. If a source would deal damage to the player who didn't win the sub-game, it deals double that damage to the player instead.
So awesome thing about this is you could actually draft multiples of these and have a sub-game, which is very interesting. It's pretty funny, even though you start at 1 for the second sub-game.
Wait, so it's 1, then -1 for the sub-game?
Well, no, so if you draft 2, you play that one and you play the next one, the next sub-game, you could actually end up having multiple sub-games.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
This is a...
Right down to your right. So, yeah.
Alright, this one? Right here?
Yeah, right there.
Perfect. Goblin Slingshot Contraption. Whenever you create Goblin Slingshot creatures you control, gets 2/0 and gains trample until the end of turn.
See, that's one of those good contraptions that works with tokens. Tokens are a very viable strategy and unstable.
Cheers.
And that is that goat token.
Goat token.
Max value. Max value, yeah.
Halfway done.
Yeah, halfway done. We're digging for that land. Remember, this is part 2 of 1, so if you want to see me ramble on, it's in part 1.
The best part, by the way, I think. I do believe you talked about this card?
I did, Hydra Doodle. Definitely one of those interesting cards. I go over it in part 1.
This is so plain.
Yeah, it is.
It's not funny. I think they could have done better in the art on the planes.
Yeah, I've definitely seen better art for planes, but heck.
Fairy token.
That's a nice fairy token.
A good grade in the fairy deck.
Mm-hmm.
Although it doesn't have a double-sided.
It does now. Some of the, I think it's like 2 of the rogue and that one. This, those 2 don't have the back end, unfortunately. Alright, come on, Spoil Island. $81 right now. It's pretty insane.
Really? It went down.
Ooh,
Oh, we got a very cryptic command. I love this card.
Go ahead and read it. It's a really fun card.
Is it in focus?
Yeah.
Alright. Very cryptic command says, choose to untap target creature. Tap each permanent target player controls with exile 1 word in its name. Discard all cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. Return target and send a sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Which is very interesting, Daniel, that this cryptic command is actually different from the one that you see on my playmat here.
Yeah, the one on the playmat is actually from an artist that unfortunately passed away while he was doing the art for this card. Very Cryptic Command has about 4 different copies, no, 6 different copies I think. They're all different too, so it's pretty fun to see which one you'll draft.
I have actually drafted, not drafted, when I open these, I have actually got all variations.
Wow, nice.
And a red mill. Yeah, in a case.
Wow.
No. Last case I opened was, in last case I got like 4 of them.
Oh wow, very good, very good.
And I got this one. Going straight to the rare. I don't know if you talked about Hangman.
I did not.
So Hangman states, as Hangman enters battlefield, Secretly note a word with 6 to 8 letters. Okay. Target player who doesn't control Hangman guesses the noted word or an unguessed letter in the word. If he or she guessed wrong, put a 1/1 counter on Hangman. Any player may activate this ability. When a player guesses the note word or all of those letters, you sacrifice it?
Yeah, so basically it's a mini game Hangman that you have to pay mana to activate, and he gets pretty big if you pick a rather large word, but you have to write it down so you can't cheat.
Makes sense. Non-foil land.
Waiting for that foil.
I am. The best token out of them all, by the way, is the dragon.
Casey likes his golden dragon token.
I did. I have a dragon that actually creates dragons. And in part 1, he was referring to a card that does it. It is called the Dungeons.
Swords of Dungeons and Dragons.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I always get that wrong.
Let's see what our rare is here. Ooh.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and read it. Let's see what it does.
It says legendary creature zombie villain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Combine enchanted and equipped creatures you control have menace. I don't get that. Okay. Pay 3 plus and red plus black. Put and tap it. Put 2 target creature cards from the graveyards onto the battlefield. Combine into 1 creature under your control. Its power is equal to the total power, and its toughness is equal to their total toughness. And it has their names, mana cost, types, texts, etc. So does that basically combine all the cards together?
I guess so. That's what the ability seems to state.
So like, for instance, if you have Avacyn that has all the swords on them, and then you have Ulamog with that enchantment that makes it Shroud or whatever, does this work?
I think it does. I don't know. The thing with these unstable cards is they're not really meant to be played in other formats. There's a mountain. So unstable cards tend to get pretty tricky when it comes to actual constructed play.
Okay. And Daniel's favorite thing is the
Squirtles. Yeah, they're great.
You want it?
For scrolling, yep. Mine.
Hypnotic Swirl Disc. Swirly Disc, sorry. Whenever you crank Swirly Disc, target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, where X is the number of creatures you show. I don't like this card because it mills me.
Yeah, milling is definitely really broken in limited settings for sure. You start at 40 cards and you're out. Or your opening hand leaves you with 33.
I hope that's banned in Commander, actually.
We'll see.
Ah, here's a good card. Serpentine, creature worm. It says whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, / augment 2 plus. So basically, for 2 colors and 1 green, you augment it.
Yeah, you augment. You give one of your other back pieces +3/+3. That's pretty interesting. So you got that plains.
So plain.
Yeah.
Oh look.
Cute little goblin token.
It's a goblin token.
Yeah, and actually has if you show it to the camera, it actually has a hat.
Oh, okay.
And there's actually a card that gives it menace if your creature token art has a hat. So
nice.
Don't forget, that's pretty interesting.
Not going to yank it?
No, not this time.
Alright. I was waiting for it.
We're almost done here.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Alright. We have Old Buzzbark. When Old Buzzbark enters the battlefield, roll a 6-sided dice onto the battlefield from a height of at least X inches. For each die, For each die, put the number of roll encounters equal to the result on each creature you control. That die is touching. For each die, Old Buzz deals damage equal to the result.
Here, let me read that.
Go ahead, please.
Card's a mouthful. Let's see. When Old Buzzark enters the battlefield, roll a 6-sided dice onto the battlefield from a height of at least X inches for each die. Put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the result on each creature you control that die is touching. For each die, Old Buzzark deals damage equal to the result of each creature on the opposed control that die is touching. So basically it's a green-red X. You X is the number of dice you roll, how high you roll it, and whenever any of those dice touches one of your creatures, they get that many +X counters. Whenever a die touches an opposing creature, it deals that much damage.
Okay.
Definitely an interesting card.
That's very interesting. And we got a swamp.
Yep. Beautiful art swamps for sure.
Yes. Almost done. We got 5 left. Gonna skip to the rare.
Oh, don't even read this card, Casey. It's Rules Lawyer. Basically, long story short, this card says all state-based actions don't occur. Things don't die. You don't lose if you can't draw cards. You don't lose if you're at 0 life. It's just an insane card. When you have to judge for that, it's just annoying as heck.
We have a mountain. And we have a...
Contraptions are really nice looking, actually.
They are very nice looking. And I do believe you talked about this one already.
I probably did. There's too many of them to keep count. You know, you can always go through part 1 and see.
Definitely look at part 1.
I don't think we emphasized part 1.
Better than 1. One person outside giant of the... You already read this one.
Did I? I'll go ahead and read it again just in case.
Since a person outside the game becomes your teammate, choose any number of cards in your hand on top of your library or on the battlefield under your control. Those cards become your teammate's hand. Ooh. Library and permanents respectively. Wait, so you basically take half of your library and give it to your partner.
There you go. It's very interesting.
I actually can get behind that.
Another planes.
Planes.
Let me see that. There you go, that elemental token. Oh, young Pyromancer loves these new foil tokens.
I like this one.
Yeah, me too.
Mine.
Yeah, alright, fair enough.
You got one over there.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good, as Daniel was talking about the squirrels last video.
Oh, that card's really great to draft that. It's 1 green. Whenever you play it, you get a 1/1 squirrel. So basically, if you play it out on turn 1, you get 2 1/1s. So it's a lot of pressure. One of the very few aggro cards in this set. Pretty good.
It's great for a 1-drop. If I do say so myself. Okay. Mario Kill is my rare. It says for 1, either a white or for a black or red, switch a kill bot or Mario Kill in your hand with 1 on the battlefield. So like, if this is your commander, you can both have it will count as a red and a black commander mana base.
Yes, it will. Yeah.
That's what those two mean. A green forest. Love this artwork, by the way. Duplication device. Whenever you crank it until turn, target creature becomes a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's an artifact in addition to it. Be great if your opponent has, say, Ulamog on the field. You play this and you target that creature.
You get to take it, but also it's really good with...
He has 2 of them and he has to sacrifice 1.
It's also great and limited with this card right here, the Infinity Elemental.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, having multiple of those is no joke.
And a
foil zombie.
2 more.
2 more. Straight to our rare.
It's Insight, a symbol X contraptions. You basically make how much you pay for this with the 2 blue is how much contraptions you can make.
Really good in a contraption-based draft deck. So if you're running a lot of contraptions, you can cast that for any amount and just get a whole bunch. You actually stack contraptions on each of the crank phases, which is really nice. So.
Our land is a island.
A $3 island.
Non-foil island.
Yeah.
Vampire is our token.
Nice, 2 more packs.
2 more packs.
Get that foil. Or foil Urza would be nice.
Sadly enough, I'm not going to get one. But I did get a foil magic word.
It's very interesting. I'm surprised they didn't actually put in parentheses no bad words. Late at night, that word gets a little
magic
crazy.
word, enters battlefield, choose a word. Whisper, choose a word, tap.
You can whisper any word you want. So keep it PG.
I'm keeping that away from my friends.
You don't have to.
BB Head of Snake. BB Head of Snake can't be blocked by creatures with flavor text. So basically this means it can't be blocked by anything except for an island.
Oh, there's some creatures that don't have flavor text. So it just depends,
This has flavor text.
Yeah, well, some cards don't, some cards do.
That's just awesome.
Another swamp.
Non-foil swamp.
Some contraptions, a foil blue
Nice.
Thopter Foundry decks. And our last pack.
deck.
Last
Last pack. Will it be a foil? Sadly, no it won't.
No, it's just the island.
Troll Ninja. It says haste. Reveal Mastermind Ninja from your hand. Mastermind Ninja is on the battlefield in your hand until the end of what? Till the end of turn?
Yeah, so you can basically have it be on the battlefield and in your hands at the same time.
How?
I don't know, just how that works. It's unstable, man. Nothing's supposed to make sense.
So if it dies on the field, does it die from your hand?
I think it's where the actual copy is, so if the actual copy...
I attack, oh, you block. Nope, it's in my hand.
Yep, so it's fine.
It's a nice card. Foil, non-foil island. And the last one is a rogue.
The art's great in this set.
I love the artwork in this set. I love the flavor text in this. It's been a great set to do. Again, I'm Casey from Casey Builder Things.
And I'm Daniel from Hellbent for Cardboard. Thank you guys for being with us. Make sure you watch part 1 and part 2 again. And just enjoy Draft Unstable. It's a great set and we can't wait to draft some more. So catch you guys next time.
Yep.
See ya.
Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Didn't stop.